As a show of respect on the day of former President Nelson Mandela's funeral, major South African retailers will close their stores for the day. The likes of Woolworths, Shoprite, Massmart, Clicks and many more. Now, what is the economic impact of this? Well, on the line, Davy Root, Director as well as Chief Economist at Efficient Group, joins us, as well as Niren Rao from Saki. He joins us in studio. Davy, let's start off with you. Is there much of an economic impact that could unfold following the closure on Sunday?
The short answer is probably not that much. We do know that retail sales have been under some pressure in recent months, and I think this one day may have a bit of an impact, but I'm not so sure. I think people are probably going to start doing a lot of spending on Saturday, and of course next week they can also make use of a couple of days to catch up on some lost spending on that Sunday. So my guess is not much of an economic impact.
Dobby, then how much of this is spin and how much of it is in respect of Madiba? Because you would have thought if the retailers were honest about this or authentic about this, they would not just have closed on Sunday, but perhaps a better day would have been Tuesday with a memorial service.
Well, my suspicion is that this is genuine. My suspicion is that this is really a sign of respect, and I think it's a very nice gesture. I do think they're running a bit of a risk that they could lose some business, but like I said, I think they're going to catch up much of this in any event. I would rather say that it's really, I would call it genuine.
Niren, let's come to you. Your thoughts on this. Alex saying that, there could be questions regarding how genuine this is, but does it make business sense to close on one day perhaps?
Well, it certainly does. One must bear in mind that for retailers, this is the busiest time of year. And for many retailers, especially those on the smaller side, or not perhaps the companies that we're looking at, they have the potential of losing a sale forever. Often in the small business space, a sale lost now is a sale lost forever. The larger retailers may, due to their footprint and their advertising capability, be able to recover a big chunk of it, but certainly they're not going to recover all of it. And I think a big part of the recovery must be attributable to the fact that consumers have been forewarned. If consumers had not been forewarned, there would be very little recovery coming off the closure on Sunday.
Niren, are you recommending to your members that they close as a matter of respect? Because remember, you've got lots of small businesses who are members as well.
Absolutely. I think there are two aspects to the closure. The first is the company itself paying a sign of respect to Madiba. The second is to allow your staff the opportunity to show their respect to Madiba. And I think that when your staff complement is of a larger as opposed to a smaller quantum, then you do want to give them that opportunity. Whether you then decide to close the business is a different decision, because you can have replacement staff brought in for your usual team. So I think that businesses have to look at how important this is in terms of their overall sales portfolio.
Just say that again. So your staff then can go off and watch TV, but other people you bring in to, I say they go off and watch TV and watch the funeral, but other people will come in and work in their place.
Well, that's an opportunity that you're
what
offering
are you saying
to your
to
usual
members?
staff. No, I'm not. We haven't.
You haven't said anything.
No, we haven't. It has to be a business decision. It has to be done at the business level. We can't ask businesses to place at risk sales that they may have. So what I'm saying is that that's an opportunity, that's an option that a business person may have. And we're saying that if they want to pay their respects, they want to give staff the opportunity to pay their respects, then you need to look at the various options available to you.
All right, so let staff go off, but do you pay them? And this is a key issue. Those staff from Woolworths and Shoprite and all the other retailers that are going off, are they being paid?
I believe they should be paid. Certainly this is a company decision, and that's another reason why the chamber can't issue an advice one way or the other, because we would encourage that when businesses do close on that day, they do pay their staff, because it's a corporate decision. It wasn't at the request of the staff that such decision was made. It was a management decision. But we also do not want to underestimate the strength of this message that's being sent. As I've pointed out earlier, this is a critical time for retail sales. We have just released our trade survey today, which unfortunately has moderated off the October number. We were hoping that, building on the strong number we got out of our trade survey in October, and our trade survey looks at the movement of goods from manufacturer to wholesaler to retailer to consumer, that we'd have a corresponding improvement in November. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So our anticipation of a bumper festive season is moderated, but we expect that we will still have a decent festive season.
We'd like to get a view from you in a moment, but before Davy Root leaves, Davy, e-tags. Yesterday, OUTA came out with its latest research to say that only 15%, in its opinion, of motorists actually have got their e-tags. I know you're quite outspoken about this. What's your view now that it has been kicked in?
Well, I think I maintain my view. I think this is going to be extremely difficult to get people to buy the e-tags. I think what we all have to realize is that the moment that we give our banking details to them, not at the moment, but eventually there will be increases. As inflation goes up, there will be adjustments upwards for e-tags as well. And on top of that, of course, it will have an impact on the average consumer's pocket. We've had huge increases on things like petrol prices, food prices, and the like, and this is going to take another bite out of the pocket of the average consumer. Maybe just a comment about retails and the closure of the big retailers on Sunday. It may even, from a macroeconomic point of view, it may even boost demand a little bit, because the people that's going to go stay home, stay with their families and watch the procession, everything on TV, for example, they may go out and get something to eat somewhere, and that may actually boost demand on another level in the economy. So don't be so sure it's necessarily going to be negative for the retail sector as a group because of the Sunday being an off day.
Thank you so much to Davy Root there. But Nirencha's coming back to you to get closing points regarding retail sales. Internationally, we had retail sales data from the US, and the likes of Tiffany's also showing a slight slowdown in their sales numbers. So if the elite and the high class and the high net worth individuals are cutting down on spending, it seems as though it's a global trend that consumers globally are under pressure.
Definitely so. Consumers are very conservative. And in the lead up to the mourning period for President Mandela, we were also anticipating some retail sales windfall to come out of the visitors that we're currently hosting. But as you point out, it's even those with the means that are being conservative this festive season. And many warnings have gone out to consumers in terms of how they spend their Christmas bonuses, and cautioning that they pay due attention to debt service and to reducing their debt in anticipation of a better 2014. Certainly, when we looked at the boost that businesses anticipated from October towards the festive season, I think the key variable there was the consumer. And although businesses started to build up towards festive season sales in terms of new orders and inventories, I think that they moderated in November due to new data coming out in respect of the consumer. And our business confidence index that SACI releases also supported that. We have to be very cautious in anticipating consumer behavior this festive season. However, although we expect a moderation over the festive season, perhaps slightly below festive season 2012 sales levels, our trade survey is optimistic about 2014. Perhaps we'll be off to a very slow start in the first quarter. There'll still be something of a mourning period extended from this current period into the new year, but we're more positive about the second quarter of 2014. We believe there'll be a gradual improvement into the second half of the year, and the basis for that is as part of our trade survey, our members do look 6 months forward, and they expect higher selling prices, higher input prices, which, although inflationary, do indicate an expectation of stronger demand.
That's very interesting, Naren. Thanks very much for your contribution.